But what I do is I work with my ancestors a lot, guys. This is something that's common in hoodoo, also known as root work. Working with your ancestors, and that's a very easy thing to start doing. All you've got to do is get some pictures of your ancestors, your grandmothers, grandparents, deceased uncles, etc. Get some pictures of them, put them in some frames, go to the dollar store and get some cheap frames and make an ancestral altar where you can light candles to your ancestors and leave them offerings, etc. You'd be surprised when you start acknowledging your ancestors that are gone, what can happen. Your ancestors, you guys, you see a lot of people want to call out to like angels and different spirits from, for instance, like the Goetic system. You know what I mean? Or even Santeria, the spirits within Santeria. But here's the thing. If you're looking for help here in the material realm with finances, whatever it is, who do you think is going to be more inclined to help you? A spirit from some shamanic system that other people created? And I'm not saying there's not power in that, because there is. Or do you think that maybe your ancestors, the people in your family bloodline, don't you think that those spirits would be more inclined to help you? I believe so. This is why I put such a huge emphasis on ancestor work, guys, working with your ancestors. Excuse me. I remember when my grandmother died on my father's side, she passed away. We did I think it's called an estate sale, where the family, the immediate family, came in and took whatever they wanted, relics of my grandmother's that meant something to them, like it had sentimental value. And there was a few things that I really wanted. One of them was a genie bottle that she had that I still have. But one of the things that I wanted the most was this lamp that she had. This beautiful ornate lamp. So we sold a lot of the stuff in her house. We ended up selling her house, which just sucks. I miss going over there for Thanksgiving and for just to see her, you know. But I took this lamp home. And the night that I brought the lamp home, I plugged it in and I got ready for bed. And when I laid down to go to bed, guys, my room was perfumed, if you will, or saturated with the smell of my grandmother's cooking, which is a very distinct smell. If I smelled it right now, a series of nostalgic emotions and memories would be flooded through my fucking brain. My senses would be elated by that smell. So I'm laying in bed and all of a sudden I smell my grandmother's cooking. It was literally like I was in her kitchen. And in my mind's eye, I clearly saw my grandmother on my father's side's face looking at me. It was as clear as day, and she started smiling. And I didn't necessarily start to freak out, but I was like, I was immediately thrown into a non-ordinary state of consciousness. And she told me to calm down. She told me that she was there with me. And you know how the fucking programmed rational mind works. I started questioning myself. And she spoke to me telepathically and said, no. This is not a hallucination. This is not something that your mind is making up, and I'm going to prove it to you. And I said, oh yeah, well, how are you going to prove it to me? And she went on to say something to the effect of, that lamp that you always wanted. And I'm like, okay. She's like, I'm going to turn it on. Right when I tell you I'm going to turn it on. And she went 3, 2, 1, or something to that effect, and the light turned on. And again, that rational programming starts to kick in and go, oh, it's just a wiring problem, or it's just some weird phenomenon. And she went, no, I'm going to turn it off when I say it's going off. 3, 2, 1, off. She continued to do this for probably, 5 minutes, where right when she said she was going to turn the lamp on, the lamp turned on. Right when she told me she was going to turn the lamp off, the lamp went off. And she did the same thing with my ceiling fan. What she was doing, you guys, was saying goodbye to me, essentially. But my grandmother never really left. She's always been on the scene. You see, I wasn't all that close with my grandmother on my father's side until close to her death. And I became very close to her. And I really got close to her once she passed, as crazy as that may sound. She's an ally of mine, guys. She cares about me. This is why I always advise people, if you're reaching out to spirits to help you, reach to your ancestors first, folks. Create an ancestor altar. Create an ancestor altar. I've had a handful of non-ordinary experiences with the deceased, and it's predicated upon this mass amalgam of these experiences that I've really recreated a new belief about death, guys. Do I want to die? No. In fact, one of my goals in life is to achieve non-ordinary states of longevity. I'm talking about like 200 years old or older. I believe that's 100% possible. But aligning yourself with the death energy, reevaluating your belief about deaths and recreating a more sound view of death doesn't mean that you have a death wish. No.